Is it live now? Oh, there it goes. Wow. Hi, everyone. YouTube is really doing this weird thing. I thought I was live. It said I was live. I wasn't live. So I'm just like rambling about stuff not astrology related. And it's just doing its thing. Like sometimes it'll say waiting and the circle's going. And I'm like, hey, I'm waiting on it. It's supposed to start. And this time, like, it started. But when I went to the link on my phone so I can see the, just to make sure everything's working right, it said waiting for Scorpio 6X. And I was like, but I'm here. That's how it goes, right? Technology. How's everybody? Oh. Okay. Let me get this chat pulled up. I feel like a stringer when I say chat. Every time I say chat. Let's go chat. Walk in chat. Live chat. Yeah, it's not top chat. Why does it even show you the top chat thing? I'm not a fan of that. Like, I like to see everything in order, the order in which it comes through, not like the most popular things. I'm not a fan of the most popular for several reasons. Like, it's not, I don't dislike something just because it's popular. I just don't want other people to tell me what I should or should not like. That's the cat. I don't want you to decide for me where my attention should go. A little rebellious nature. I think that's my Uranus in the 6th house, probably. Don't tell me what I need to know or what I don't need to know, what I need to learn or not learn. Don't tell me where to pay attention. Don't tell me what to do. I'm just kidding. But anyways, okay. Man, one thing I noticed about, like, right now, I think where I'm at, Scorpio is rising. This is the first time I've done this early in the day. Normally I do them later in the evening. Like, I know someone, and when he pulls up charts, a lot of times there's a Scorpio rising. Scorpio is rising on the chart he pulls up. And it's normally for a later date or a past date or whatever. It's not for right now. I'm like, is that just a coincidence, or does he intentionally pull up charts with Scorpio rising? But I really, like, I don't know, it feels different this morning. I feel like with Scorpio being in the first house right now, a lot of my natural self is coming out. Like, I've had some jokes this morning, some very Scorpio jokes. Well, I'm not gonna change the adult rating on my video or anything. It's not gonna be like that type of situation. But I don't know. I like it. I don't know. It feels good. So hopefully some good things flow, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I have not looked at this chart yet. I've been working on some really cool stuff this week. Last week too, but like this week is really, really getting going. So I'm excited about that, and kind of been a little obsessed with it. Not much time for anything else. Share this so we can look at the screen. Is it sharing? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's get a little bit bigger. Trying some new stuff on my computer too. Some new techie stuff. Buttons I've never pushed before. I'm pushing them. So this is our chart for the total lunar eclipse in Pisces. That's going to happen. What is today? The 6th. It's going to happen tomorrow afternoon. If you're in like the Chicago, Memphis time zone, it's going to be around 1 o'clock, 1:08 p.m. to be exact. We're not going to be able to see it here. Obviously, it's during the day. The sun's going to be out. We're not rotated in the right position to see it. We've had some really, really great eclipses in the States and Canada and this strip of the world the last few years, so I'm not mad about it. We have to share the eclipses with the rest of the world, okay? Everybody needs to see the eclipses. They share with us, we share with them. The eclipses don't discriminate. Everybody gets some eclipse time. Might take a few years, but it happens. Gosh, that is so Pisces too, isn't it? Oh, I need to stop. I threw myself off, see? Maybe you've kind of been feeling this like sort of like a headspace, but it's not like mental. It's more, I mean, I guess it is kind of mental, but it feels more like I don't want to say like tapping into the spirit realm, even though you could call it that. But just that whole like something else realm. That's kind of what it feels like. We've been aware that we're adjacent to, if not completely submerged in. I've felt like that. I just said the whole things coming out that you wouldn't normally think about or say or feel or things that are hard to put into words, definitely. Cats jumping on desks. It's almost like you're just picking up on this vibe. And it feels, I like the way it feels. And it's not just because it's Scorpio rising right now. This is like this is different. It's the energy of this eclipse. And if you're not into like vibes and feelings and stuff, that's okay. You can still enjoy this eclipse energy too. You just think of it like if your imagination was a giant swimming pool or even an ocean. I like ocean better. You like ocean better too? Okay, she's going to get hair all over my shirt, so when she gets down, pay no attention to the cat hair on my shirt. Yeah, Pisces, think of Pisces like an ocean, right? And there's just everything. There's whole different ecosystems there, and there's even like water even flows in different ways in the ocean, right? You've got like underwater rivers and underwater lakes, and I mean, look at SpongeBob. He's got lakes and fires and everything else underwater. But in real life, not in SpongeBob life, there's different currents. There's, it's freezing in this area, but it's hot in this area. There's so much variety. All the different animals, all the different plants. Is this a plant or an animal? Who knows? Who cares? It's part of the ocean. You even got the ocean that people swim in, and you've got this super deep part of the ocean that we haven't even really explored yet. There's a deep Piscean analogy for you. But yeah, Pisces is it's like that. It's like the ocean. So if you think of this imagination space, not like a mental logical space, but more of like a creative mental space, where do you go to pretend? Pretend this or pretend that, or what if this, or it's like a place where creative potential lives. We can create whatever we want. It's like the Matrix, if the Matrix was more fun. You know how they have their training programs in the Matrix, and they're gonna, let's load this, and it's not even real. It looks real, but you can do whatever you want in it. You can build it however you want. Imagine if that was a fun place to be. And it was like maybe more whimsical, more soothing for your soul, not as analytical and structured. Less about the code and more about the flow. Like, oh, what is that show? The Sandman? It's, Neil Gaiman's book. Morpheus. The Dreaming. Like the dream world. The Dreaming, yeah. There's another one. In Australia, I know other cultures have similar places, but I know the Dreaming is an Australian thing, and it's like that. It's just, it's sort of outside time or space. I don't know. I'm going on and on about it. I'm doing a Pisces thing and just waxing poetic as the full moon approaches. That's my family. So yeah, that's what Pisces is all about. And with the moon being there, I feel like it's even more the dreaming. It's even more like Morpheus's realm, or I really want to talk about the dreaming that is indigenous to Australia, but I don't, I'm familiar with it. I'm not familiar enough with it to be comfortable telling you what I know about it, because I don't want it to be wrong, if that makes sense. I have a general understanding of it. I just don't, yeah. You know what I'm trying to say. But you should look into it because it's very, very cool. I love the concept. And I feel like it vibes with my Native American ancestral roots. Yeah. So that's the place we're in with this full moon and with this eclipse. Man, that makes it even more intense. Gosh. Moons in Pisces are already very surreal. When you add that eclipse energy on it, it's it just makes it so much more potent. But it's even more hidden Like, can we get even more hit? It's like a veil and then another veil and then another veil. All the water signs are sort of veiled. Something is veiled in water because water reflects. So you have to see past the reflection. You have to see past the veil. Get through the gate, so to speak. So Pisces is a veil, the moon is another veil, and then this eclipse is another veil. So we're thrice hidden here. Thrice hidden. So here's the moon right here, the full moon, and it's right by the north node. That means an eclipse is going to happen. Whenever you see the moon this close to the, I think it's within 14 degrees of the nodes, there's an eclipse. So, of course, we've got the sun over here opposing that because it's a full moon. If the full moon is with the north node, then that means the sun is going to be with the south node. And then Mercury is right there too. Of course he is. Virgo is... this almost feels like... Get out of your head for a minute. How do you need to get out of your head? Because this is an eclipse. This is... Normally with eclipses, whatever comes up, it doesn't come to fruition until later on in the cycle. A lot of things going on right now with this being a full moon in Pisces. There could be, and there was a new moon in Pisces. Let me see if I have that chart here. Because it could be some stuff from the new moon in Pisces back in January, February. It could be something that happened then is like coming to culmination right now. But part of it might still be hidden. And I don't remember if that was an eclipse or not. So, where's my... If I had some fancy software to tell me these things, to find them quickly, I could, but I don't have that. And I don't know what I did with my other honeycomb planner. Side note, I use a honeycomb planner. I got one for Christmas one year and almost cried. But they have this cool option where you can get them printed. Like, you can buy the PDF, the digital version. It's $10 for 6 months. Right? So that's what I do now, because that's, it's only $10. It's cheaper than buying the whole planner, and I can print it to fit my planner that I use. So yeah, I really want to look and see if that was an eclipse now. But my point is this. Because this is a full moon, full moons are culminations of like whatever's been going on since the new moon in that sign. So like when we have a new moon in Pisces, it starts this new Piscean cycle subconsciously in your unconscious mind, or in your, however you feel about the moon, whatever the moon is for you, how you feel about things, things that are hidden from you or whatever, however you think about the moon. And then when you have a full moon in that sign is sort of the culmination. It's like, oh, it's like the big reveal. But this time during the big reveal, we're having an eclipse. So it's like, ooh, the story might not be over yet. So we'll see. Like maybe there's something that we're just not ready for yet that needs to stay hidden for a little while. I'm okay with that. You know, I don't like to be told what to do. Don't tell me what's popular. Don't tell me what I need to know, what I don't need to know. But sometimes you just have to trust that you're not ready for that yet. Like you're aware that something is there. It's almost like you understand that you don't know what you don't know, and you're okay with letting things come as they need to. That feels right, especially with Mercury conjunct this or in opposition to the eclipse. Hold on one second. Sorry. Because Virgo is this place where we learn, right? It's about discernment. It's about figuring out your path, putting the blueprint together, learning what you need to learn. Like from Virgo to Sagittarius, this for me that feels almost like the college journey or the educational journey, or there's something that goes on with these mutable signs. This back and forth, how do I understand? So Gemini is just understanding what you're given. Virgo is figuring out how to choose what you want to understand. It's like, this is what I'm interested in, so this is the path I need to take. Or letting somebody tell you, you shouldn't take this path, or you shouldn't take this path, or go to school to be a doctor, go to school to be a lawyer, or you need to make a lot of money. It's which direction do I want to go? It's choosing your own direction with the connections you make and the how you use your resources and that sort of thing. It's setting your life up so you can sustain yourself. Virgo is where you learn how to fish. All right. Taurus is where you're given a fish. Virgo is where you learn how to fish. So you learn, which fishing pole do I even want to use? You know, what kind of fish do I want to catch? It's the start of that journey. So there's a lot that you don't know yet. And that's okay. We shouldn't judge ourselves for it. We shouldn't hold it against the teacher that we don't know those things yet. You just sort of have to, like, you can only, this is not the Matrix, right? I mean, it is, but it's not. Like, there's no way for us to just plug in and download all of this knowledge and understanding at one time. You have to go through the process, because it's about the process. It's about the journey. Like, that's, even if you could just skip to the end with all of it programmed into your brain, it wouldn't be the same, because you wouldn't have the experience of learning it. And that's where the good stuff is. Hang on. Let me think about this. Like, that good stuff is that's what makes it worth it. That's the gold. The gold is in the process of growing. It's not the final product. It's not it's not the title, it's not the degree, it's not like the magic is in learning. It's in figuring it out. And Pisces is almost, I almost feel like it has more to do with an experience than anything. It's like the collective experience of resilience. And don't you need resilience to learn? And I think that is the thing that we should learn to accept, or we should be more aware of. We should be less critical of ourselves in that way. We all have to learn, and learning is hard. Figuring out, becoming discerning, figuring out what is good for us, what is right for us, what is not right for us, what is bad for us. It takes work to do that. You're not going to get it right. You might think, oh, this is a great opportunity, and it's not. You have to like develop your discernment. That's what Virgo is all about, developing your discernment, your ability to break things down and look at them and choose which path is best. You know, which one do I need? It's about separating what you need to work with from what you don't need to work with. It's about being responsible enough to maintain the upkeep. Finding what's useful and taking care of it. It's not about saying, oh, I can't believe I did that, or this is too much, this is overwhelming, or this is stupid, there's too many steps, this is too tedious, this is, it's not about, I know I should really get up and get some kind of exercise today because I'm really unhealthy and I'm sick and I need to exercise. I need to take better care of my body. I need to stop eating this junk. I need to stop taking this, whatever it is. It's not good for me, but I just don't feel like it. It's not about that. Like that's, I feel like there's a couple ways you can, with the whole South Node and Virgo thing, right? The things that we should let go of that have to do with this, the things that we don't need, the things that are the Virgo things that are not useful to us right now. See, here's what happens. Let's just talk about Virgo for a second. Let's break it down. Let's do the Virgo thing and break it down. Okay, Virgo is the second of the earth signs, right? Taurus is the first. Taurus is very chill. It's where you say, I'm just going to relax. And it's where you can let your guard down completely all the way You don't have to worry about your security. You don't have to worry about, like, you have everything you need. You don't have to worry about any of those. There's no stress. You have everything you need. You have all the resources you need. You have all the food you need. You don't have to worry about something breaking when you try to use it. You know, everything is great quality, and it's a place of sustainment. It's where you are sustained. And you could just stay there forever, right? Taurus is ruled by Venus. This is Venus laying back on the couch, being fed grapes. Not a care in the world, right? Totally relaxed and comfortable. We need this space. This is how we calm down. This is how we self-regulate from this space. But if you stay there, if you get stuck there, because Taurus energy is very still, it doesn't like to move, it becomes hedonism. And hedonism is not good for you. It becomes self-destructive. Because once you, remember this, like, once something stays this way for so long, it actually becomes the opposite. So something that is really good for you, like, things are supposed to change. They're supposed to go back and forth, right? We're supposed to have times of rest and times of work and times of play where we move and we're still, move still, move still. If we stay still, we stagnate. If we stay moving, we get worn out. We break down. So either way, whether you break down from stagnation or you break down from overuse, you're still breaking down. So Mercury comes in and says, hey, Earth energy, let's move into Virgo. So now we're moving. There's a mutability here. There's a back and forth. It's back and forth between you and the world, right? You and people that you might learn something from, you and people that you might be working with, you and people that you might be responsible for, you and some whoever. And you have to learn to be discerning about, what do I need? What do I not need? What is good for me? And you have to be non-judgmental about this. Mercury is really, really helping this energy work. Mercury's here and the sun is here. And I know Mercury gets real hot when it's close to the sun. But I feel like that's okay. It feels almost like cathartic in a way. Like maybe there's something going on right now that you've been super judgy about, or you've been like hyper focused on, or you've been wasting energy on, and you're just like, fuck it, I'm done with that. I'm not focusing my attention on this anymore. This gets no more of my attention. That's what happens when Mercury gets too hot about something. Sometimes, maybe not all the time, but I feel like right now that's kind of the deal. Maybe it's the South Node influence. Yeah, so then like Mercury gets you moving in Virgo, and you put the whole plan together. And then because you have the blueprints ready, you've learned the skill, you've developed yourself. Virgo is about self-development. Now you can go into Capricorn and you can do the work and be the boss. And now you know how to fish. And you can feed others with the fish you catch. So you're sort of like, you're the boss, but you're also able to give back in this way. So Virgo is the in-between, between like being comfortable because you're not doing anything, you're not moving, and being comfortable because you are moving, you have moved, you've done the hard thing. Saturn, Capricorn, it's about discipline and hard work. it's a totally different level of comfort and security and stability, right? It's one that takes so much effort. Taurus comfort and stability is just there. It's this like innate bonding instinct. We're born with it, and it says, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what feels good to me, this is how much food my body needs, this is how I know I'm hungry, this is, like we're born knowing when we're hungry we need food. We know when we need sleep. We know our body knows how to take care of itself. Our brain sends us signals about what to do, what our body needs to come back to homeostasis. That's just the thing that we're born with. And Capricorn is like a different level of that. It's like, and it's almost like once you do the Capricorn thing right, once you get the work where you are sustaining yourself and you're able to sustain someone else around you just as like a fallout of that, it's the same. It's not the same, but you have a level of comfort and security where you can just sort of relax and have the good quality stuff and eat when you're hungry and sleep when you're tired. But it's because you worked for it. I feel like that's, oh gosh, I feel like this eclipse with the moon being in Pisces has a lot to do with that, because we don't have anything in Taurus and we don't have anything in Capricorn. But Pisces is the midpoint. And then everything from Mercury to the South Node is smack dab in the middle of all the Earth energy. So the Earth energy starts at 0 degrees Taurus and ends at 29 degrees Capricorn, if we put them together, right? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. The South Node and the Sun and Mercury are right in the middle of those three, between 10 and 18 degrees of Virgo. This full moon is happening total opposite from that. So this is sort of like the apex of that energy. Or is that the apex? And this is I forgot the word. It's okay. It doesn't even matter. Pisces, doesn't matter. It's like if this is the focal point, then this is, but I feel like that's not necessarily oh. Okay, so check this out. This looks like the focal point because that's where the sun is. But that's also where the South Node is. And over here, the moon, which is the veil, the hidden thing. So what we might be seeing a lot of, what the message might be about right now, is this whole sort of breaking up the routine when it comes to things that have to do with what you're responsible for, or responsibilities you have to others, or responsibilities someone has to you. Yeah. Or not just people, but also things, like things that you're responsible for taking care of. Like your landlord has a responsibility to you because they have a responsibility to their properties to make sure they're taken care of. You have a responsibility to whoever or whatever, It's just things that you have to maintain. So it feels like it might seem like this is what it's all about, because this is where the sun is and where Mercury is. So this is where our attention is sort of being captured, or it's the most salient thing going on. The salience is like how much of our attention is drawn to that. So like this is the most salient thing. But I feel like this eclipse with the full moon in Pisces and the North Node, that's the entree. That's like the core of the whole thing. The root of it, almost. That's the root of this tree. So I think the point is, because Pisces is about acceptance and surrender, and we're talking, it's almost like a reflection of something that's hidden, with it being a full moon eclipse, of something we need. It feels very much like it has to do with there are lots of ways to get to the same place. There are lots of ways to get to the end. There are lots of ways to get to this energy of where we can let our guard down and be comfortable and happy with life. To be in that place where we are being sustained and fulfilled, like not just provided for, not just like if you're hungry, you can eat a sack of flour and it's going to fill you up, but it's not going to sustain you. It's not going to help you grow. There are lots of ways to fill your belly and your bank account. When all is said and done, will you be able to accept the path you've taken? Will you be able to accept yourself? Will you be able to face that? The you that you've become, the you at the end of the road, the you after the thing is done, will you be able to face that you? Will you be able to face everything else? Will you be able to face the rest of the ocean? I'm not saying do it for other people. I'm saying do it for yourself. Understand that this is like big resilience. Water is resilience, and all the stuff we have in water. So in Cancer, that's first water. That's where we become aware of. It's really where we become aware of ourselves, like our inner self, our feelings, that whole thing, all the psychological stuff. We become aware that there's like this, our inner self. Like not the waking conscious self that interacts with the world, but all the thoughts you have and the feelings you have that you don't share with anybody, that self. You become much more aware of that self. Like you don't just, when you're a kid, you don't think about that. Like little bitty kids, they just kind of do what they're told. And they, I like this, I like that. Their attention is very outwardly focused. Then they get to an age where they start thinking about how they feel. And they start sort of having like this inner dialogue and that sort of thing. Like that's where Cancer is, where you just, the space where you can feel those things. And we learn when we get our feelings hurt, it's okay. It's okay to feel this way about it. It's okay to get your feelings hurt. It's okay if you hurt somebody else's feelings, as long as you didn't mean to. Like accidents happen. Our feelings get hurt, and that's why we have Cancer, so we can feel better. Scorpio is a lot deeper than that. I'm not saying Cancer's not deep, but Scorpio goes to a deeper level of the psyche where it's a lot more about accountability. How much of this am I contributing to? Like, am I just standing in my own way? Am I making it hard on myself? How can I deal with some of these things? Why am I standing in my own way about this? What sort of things have happened that I need to deal with so I can get out of my own way? And this sort of fuck it. I've got to cross this abyss. I've got to get through this unknown place, this hell. Like you might be fully aware of it, or you might just, it might be so deep you haven't reached the point yet, but it's still there. I am in my own way, standing in front of me like it's some sort of guardian soldier that's saying, you don't want to deal with this, you don't want to deal with this, you can't do this, you can't do that. That brings like all this crap, fear, mostly fear. But you realize it's just like you projecting, right? You are in your own way. So once you realize that, then they're like, there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. And you're not judging yourself anymore. You're not trying to control things as much. You can just like let it breathe. It's like, oh, it's okay. I feel like I was rambling about that. If you want to understand that more, reach out to me. So then once you get past like facing yourself, that sort of reflection, then you get into Pisces, where it's like, I mean, imagine how much more resilient you become once you make it through therapy and do all the psychological work and you graduate from, like, I've been seeing my shrink for the last 25 years. That you've done all the Scorpio work, you've built up huge psychological resilience. You can come into this Pisces place of like big resilience where you understand that in this ocean, everybody's in the water. It might be an underwater river, it might be an underwater lake, they might be a plant, they might be an animal, they might be, is it a plant or an animal? but we're all in the same ocean. That's the Pisces resilience. So we stop. It's being able to navigate through the ocean. Having the resilience to navigate through that ocean. Dang, I kind of got lost in that Pisces space for a minute. Oh my gosh. Let me put her out. Hang on. No. Sorry. I think my point was, if you can, like, there's something hidden in that level of when I say resilience, I don't just mean the capacity to overcome the hard things, or like, you know, you want to have a resilient immune system, or you want to be able to heal quickly physically. I mean, just think of it as a state of mind. It's like, I got this. I know I'm okay. I know I'm going to be okay. I know stuff happens, but I know it's going to be okay. It's all how the ocean flows. And I know they're going to be okay, and I know we're all going to be okay. And sort of like, it's almost like, sometimes Pisces to me feels like accepting time, like all of time together, and knowing that like it's, I'm sorry guys, give me 1 second. Okay. I don't remember what I was going to say about that. Sorry. Pisces is this place of acceptance and surrender, not out of defeat, but out of like unbotheredness. I think my favorite Pisces word is unbothered. So once you figure out how to get to this place of stability and comfort, and because the way I'm looking at this, it's almost like there's two paths to stability and comfort, to security, right? There's the one you work for and the one you expect. The one you just like feel entitled to, and the one that you earn. And I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm just saying, use that analogy in whatever way fits your life, however you want to think about it. Because sometimes we might some things are just a given, right? A baby doesn't apologize for needing food. You have to eat. There's no complex about that. There's been no conditioning of self-worth in that regard. I think it's about accepting and surrendering to the fact that some things we are responsible for providing, and some things the responsibility falls on someone else to provide to us. And knowing the difference between those two and just accepting that there is a difference. Surrendering to that, and if they don't, like, you can't make people do anything. If they don't want to be accountable, take responsibility, it's not for you. That's the Virgo thing we do, right? We discern that's not the right path. I need to go do something else. Don't say they don't want to do the responsible thing. They don't want to be accountable. Because Virgo's about like uneven, or really the 6th house is about like these uneven relationships, right? But Virgo is about like, it's a place. Virgo is a place where the house is like an experience, a behavior, a thing that is done. Virgo is the place, the setting. So think about like a movie setting, this, the backdrop for these things. So if you're, if somebody is supposed to be teaching you how to do something and they're not, is it a you problem or a them problem? You're discerning, you're learning, you're trying to figure it out. You're breaking it down to see where the root of the issue is, to diagnose the issue. It's a them problem. Okay, they're not for you. Go find somebody else to teach you. Choose somebody else to teach you. That's how you take accountability for yourself. Don't say, oh, I'm not worthy of being taught. I deserve to be treated like this. No. Also, you feel like you're not learning from somebody. They're not teaching you. They're, whatever. Is it because you're entitled? Do you feel like they owe you? Do you feel like they should give you something? That's kind of a you problem. Check yourself and say, I don't know this, you do. That kind of thing. And loving ourselves enough to accept that that's just how it is, to understand that process without judgment. To take care of our needs. It's like almost having the resilience to take care of your needs, to figure out how to take care of your needs and wants and desires. And I don't just mean like things that, like the basic needs, like food, clothing, and shelter, a paycheck, those things. Also, like, what do you need to sustain your soul? Like, what do you need to get excited about? It could be a hobby. It could be something that you're really into. Here's something that I'm really into, that I'm such a nerd about, and I realized recently within the last few months. I don't even care that I'm a nerd about this. It's my thing. Patterns and puzzles and hidden things. Like when I was a kid, I love those optical illusion books. Yeah, there were books back then. I didn't have a computer. What was the internet? But those books you would get at the book fair, and you find all the hidden pictures and patterns in them. I loved those. And now I'm doing work that has to do with that in astrology. And I love it. Like, it sustains me. It feeds me. It's hopefully gonna pay me, but it's intrinsically motivating, which feeds your body too. When something is intrinsically motivating for you, man, that reminds me of that verse about man does not live on bread alone, but something about the spirit too. So when your dopamine is flowing like it should, when you've got healthy dopamine levels, I'll put it that way, neurologically speaking, it gives you more energy, just like food does. Food gives us energy. Healthy dopamine levels give us energy. It not only, there's something about like a pain, it decreases pain. Sort of like dulls the pain receptors. I don't want to say that, and it's wrong, but it helps with how much pain you can feel. Like, it lessens that pain. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Trust me, it's true. It's magic. Dopamine is like magic. So that's a way of sustaining yourself, of feeding yourself. Something that you are intrinsically motivated about literally takes care of your physical body and helps you feel more energetic and be healthier. Just like something that, would put food on the table. Yeah, so accept that thing about you and love that thing about you and be resilient on your path with that. And I just spent like a whole hour talking about just this opposition here. We didn't even talk about the other stuff that's going on. Like this Jupiter sextile that is in Cancer, just telling you, hey, feel what you feel. Say yes to it. And that includes if something feels bad. Like I was talking about how, being comfortable and still and Taurus can turn into hedonism, and that feels bad. Like, you need to get up and move, and then you start getting all this anxiety because Mercury is trying to move you, but you're not paying attention to Mercury, so Mercury is like starting to go like this, and that's your anxiety. That's when it becomes overwhelming and turns into anxiety. That's Jupiter might be saying, hey, yes, you are feeling this way. Look, I'm going to shine my big Jupiter spotlight on your feelings, and you are not feeling good. Why? That might be it. Or it's like, hey, you need to slow down. You are overworking. You feel bad because you are expecting too much of yourself. You are judging yourself too harshly. Or whatever other freaking emotions or feelings come up. But because Jupiter is sextile and the sun in the south node of Mercury right now, maybe not so much Mercury. Mercury moves really quick though, so yeah, I'm gonna say Mercury. It's like they're excited to work together. So your feelings, you might be, Jupiter might be putting its big Jupiter spotlight on the feelings associated with how you do life, with putting your path together, with how you sustain yourself. Yeah. And how you are sustained. Not like what sustains you, but how you do the thing that sustains you. And then Mars in Libra. Cool. Um it feels almost like Virgo is all about being analytical, right? It's an analytical place where we break things down and we can see it piece by piece, figure out what pieces we need, what pieces we don't need. Mars in Libra is sort of the strategist, right? If we want to give it a keyword name. So Mars in Libra feels similar to like Mars in Libra wants to do what we're feeling in with the South Node, the Sun, and Mercury in Virgo. And with the South Node and Mars being like 32 degrees apart, it's almost like this. Like, can we just get this done? Can we just let it go? Like, I've had enough. This is on my nerves. Let's just do it and move on. It's almost like that sort of energy. And that happened a few moons ago. There's this whole thing between Mars and Venus, right? Like here's Mars and here's Venus and here's the Sun and the South Node, the opposition of the eclipse is like smack dab in the middle of that, and that makes okay. That explains why I feel the whole move or not move, work for it or just expect it kind of thing. Okay. Because remember, I haven't looked at this chart until today. Mars and Venus are making like this yod or yod. Can I say yod? Is it wrong for me to say yod? Like, does it become yod once it's astrology? I don't know. I need to ask like a rabbi or something. With a focal point, the apex. Remember I said apex a minute ago? Oh, there's my cat moving the camera. Not my cat, my daughter's cat. Being right here. So the eclipse is the finger, the point of the finger of God. I think of Mars and Venus like, oh my gosh, I don't know what she's doing. Mars is how we assert ourselves, and Venus is how we regulate ourselves. So one is like, get going, fight or flight, need to move. The other one is calm down, that sort of thing. Bond with another person, a thing. What do you like? What are you attracted to? What feels good? So on two levels, we have, because the South Node and the Sun are in Virgo, and it's sort of making this. It's not a, I wish I had a thing to annotate with. It's not so much a hexagram as it is just, this is a focal point and this is a focal point. So the Sun-Moon opposition during an eclipse, a lunar eclipse, you've got the Sun and the South Node opposing the Moon and the North Node. That's a big deal. There's a big focus on that energy, on that opposition. Remember, oppositions that doesn't just mean it's they're working against each other. It just means they contrast each other, they complement each other. They're just coming at it from two different angles. Wow, and Venus is on that side too. And Leo. Okay, so it's sort of like, I'm seeing this chart as it's sort of like split in two with our point like this, right? This is the half. This is where we're going to split it. On this side, we've got Venus and Leo. Leo can be so generous, but it's about self-expression. So it's very much about the self. And Venus is there, and Venus is about what feels good. What do you attach to? What do you bond with? What do you want to connect with? And then Taurus is on this side too, a very still, fixed energy where we don't want to move. It's ruled by Venus. Venus wants to kick back and eat grapes here. So on this side, there's this very still, fixed energy. That could become hedonistic. I feel like with Venus and Leo, and that's like squaring, like Venus is squaring the sign that it rules. And Taurus here, I feel like this could become like a hedonistic energy. or stuck in what's familiar just because it's familiar, like afraid to venture out. Cycles or patterns that you know are not good for you, like the devil you know, that sort of thing. And on the other side of this chart is Libra and Capricorn, which are cardinal energies. So it's like go, move, like do the new thing. The new thing is here. Let's go. Let's roll this out. Let's roll into this. Do you see where I'm getting at? Can you see my little pointer thing here? Okay, so we've got Mars and Venus. And it's making a point to the eclipse, to the moon. Okay, that's one triangle. And then this one, the other side of the eclipse where the sun is, it's going to Capricorn. And then on this side, it's going to Taurus. All right, so that's our triangle there. That's our trine. On this side with Capricorn and Libra, cardinal signs, move, go, assertive energy. Mars is about self-assertion. It's how you assert yourself. It's fight or flight. It's it's about action, needing to do. So this left side is very much about moving forward, or just moving in general, and the left side, it feels very still. Which one do you need to do? I think the way you figure out which one you need to do is thinking about at the end, which one will I be okay with? Which one will be the most healing for me? Do you need to stand to your ground, to be still, to rest, whatever? Do you need to not move for some reason? Or do you need to move for some reason? Because there are reasons to be still, there are reasons not to be still. There are reasons to move, and there are reasons to not move. You know what I'm saying? Like, it depends on the situation which one you need to do. It could go either way. Either one could be good for you, and either one could not be good for you. Discerning what is the best course of action. That's what this feels like. Finally, I got to the big picture. I love it when that happens. It feels really good when I find the hidden image in the optical illusion book. And then we still have our other, like, outer planet transit stuff working in the background. Pluto and Uranus squaring each other. That's okay. I like it. I like squares. I'm a weirdo like that. I like the more challenging aspects because I like a challenge. And then, you know, Saturn and Neptune are doing their thing. Saturn has moved back into Pisces a little bit because it's retrograde. So we've got like an out of sign conjunction going on. And I think this is really cool the way this is going, because Neptune, Neptune rules Pisces in modern astrology. It rules Pisces. But it's in Aries. And then Saturn, which is so not Pisces energy, feels to me more like Aries energy. If I guess that's more like an occultish or esoteric sort of thing, like bringing something into creation, defining it, and giving it life. That's like a Saturn and Aries thing. But now Saturn has moved back, so it's kind of like and Neptune is still there. Let me think about this for a second. I started talking and wasn't paying attention to what it felt like. I feel like Saturn going back into Pisces is saying, hey, don't forget that you have the authority. Don't forget you're the one that sets the boundaries. You decide, you're the boss, you're the CEO. So when it comes to sometimes we can have too many boundaries, though. Why are you saying no? Are you saying no because you really need to say no? Or are you saying no because saying yes is uncomfortable? Jupiter and Cancer. Saying yes isn't always comfortable. Saying no isn't always uncomfortable. And vice versa. So this out of sign conjunction, it feels almost like what if you said no? What if you said yes? Imagine where the boundaries are. What if the boundaries were here? What if the boundaries were there? What if there were no boundaries? What if it was one big boundary? Can you accept the reality that you are creating? Can you surrender to the process? Is that right? Can you surrender the parts of the process that you don't need? Yeah, for some reason Saturn feels very especially that Aries Neptune, it feels like it's easy to get lost in all the things. Okay, so I just thought about Legos. Like you have an abundance of Legos, right? Like you're on the Lego building competition show, or you go to Lego World or a Lego whatever. And it's like, imagine what you can do with all this stuff. But you don't really need all that stuff. Don't worry about the things you don't need. Worry about the things you do need. That's what that Saturn Neptune feels like. And they're both retrograde. Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Aries, retrograde conjunct. What a strange energy. Setting boundaries on your imagination. What? So you can bring something to life. What? So you can make something real. Yeah, that's what that feels like. We don't need all these Legos. I'm building this thing. I'm not going to get lost by, like, I'm immersed in this ocean of Legos. I'm not going to get lost. There's a thing that I'm trying to create that needs to be created. What do I need to do that? Even though this is not conjunct, like this is not an aspect at all. It's kind of on its way to being an aspect. And because these are both outer planets and this is an eclipse, I feel like it makes these energies bigger, like they're bigger right now. So you've got one over here and like its energy is usually like this, but then the energy gets bigger, right? And you've got one over here and the energy is usually like this, but then it gets bigger. Eventually those energies touch. They wouldn't normally touch, but because the energy is so much bigger right now, it is touching. That's kind of what this feels like. So I think that kind of plays in a little bit with that. It's kind of like, hey, don't forget about this. Somebody tapping you on the shoulder. Hey, yeah. So, anyways, that's what I got. I didn't know how long I was going to go on this because I didn't even take any notes. Like I said, I didn't even look at the chart until this morning, right before I started streaming. But I like to do that sometimes because sometimes I just like to see what comes up because I will overthink things. I'll overthink things a lot. I've got Virgo in the 3rd house, so how I perceive things and then how I voice what I perceive can sometimes be overanalyzed and overthought and break down because of that. So that's okay. I want to see what's rising right now where I'm at. Oh, look, at the end of the Scorpio rising. When I sat down, it was, I don't know, somewhere in the first second of Scorpio, and now the ascendant is at 26 degrees Scorpio, where I'm at. So that's cool. I liked doing a stream with Scorpio rising. I felt a lot more comfortable. Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense. So maybe I might look into that later on. I might do that. That might be a timing technique that I use. See what sign is rising when I do the stream, or play with it a little bit. Maybe see what sign is on midheaven, what sign is in my 2nd house, that sort of thing. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know what you think about this. Was I like way lost in Pisces world? Or did I say anything helpful for you? Do you have anything to add? Is there anything that you would take out that you don't agree with? You know how I do it. I like to hear any opinions, all opinions. If you want to work with me, I would love to work with you. Message me. Check out my Patreon. Check out my YouTube. I'm on Instagram too, even though I'm kind of mad at Instagram right now because of their live streaming rules. They changed. But it's okay. I'm sure they had a reason. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you later.